Still to come.
In the sun, on the sand, by the sea. Brighton helps Olympic athletes train for beach volleyball.
And the world-class junior Olympic runner who's from our school.
This is BBC News School Report.
Brought to you from Cardinal Newman Catholic School in Hove.
Now, we've been taking a look at today's papers, and they're full of stories about the winners and losers in the government's latest budget.
The Chancellor, George Osborne, has been telling people how he plans to balance the books. He's also been predicting what's going to happen to the economy in the next few years.
Well, here at School Report, we've been testing out one of the more unusual ways of measuring the health of the economy. High heels.
Some experts say that when most women are buying shoes with very high heels, that means a bad time for the economy. Let's find out more.
High heels make many women look and feel sophisticated, elegant and glamorous.
Take a look in any fashionable shoe shop window and you can't fail to be staggered by the heights of some of the heels staring back at you.
But is it all about fashion and glamour, or could there be another reason why shoes are scaling such heights?
Because flats are very in at the moment. A lot of people are buying flats and looking for comfort and stuff. But then we've also got the killer heel that's in at the moment with a big platform.
I think they're really nice. They're what I'd wear for a night out, but not just everyday wear. They're really nice. I like them to be really high. I don't like little heels or mid heels. I think the higher the better for a night out.
We are here today with an international shoe designer, Thomas Murphy.
So why are high heels so popular?
High heels are really popular at the moment because they help women to feel powerful and successful, and I think that's part of an image portrayed in the media. If you see celebrities, they're always wearing high heels. For instance, the Prime Minister's wife, she wears high heels when she's photographed in public, and they also change your posture, and they help to make your legs look longer, and you know, you're taller in general.
The height of heels seem to grow taller every season. Why do you think this is?
The reason the heels have got higher is because this is what we see on the catwalk. You know, what once would have been considered a high heel, like this 90mm height, would now be considered a mid-height. And now on the catwalk you see maybe 12 centimetre, 14 centimetres, even like 15 centimetre heel heights.
High heels seem to be associated with a feel-good factor. Do you agree?
Yeah, I think so. And I know some women who buy high heels. Certainly, they buy them to feel good, for the feeling of buying them, and then also, you know, they like the idea and the idea of wearing them, but they don't actually ever wear them. You know, you know, they'll buy they might buy a high heel shoe and take it home, look at it, keep it in a box, and only wear it around their house.
Are your fashion designs influenced by fashion trends or the economy?
For me, as a young designer, and you know, trying to break into shops and kind of develop a niche in the market, I think it's important that I'm aware of trends, but that I don't follow trends. When the economy's suffering, I think people either buy more classical styles, or sometimes to make themselves feel better, they might buy something, you know, more outrageous, you know, just to lift their mood.
However, perhaps a fashion fix doesn't always help you feel good or save money in the long term. There are pitfalls. Now we are going to meet Nadine Reynolds, a podiatrist at a private practice in Brighton.
Shoe shops seem to be selling shoes with incredibly high heels. Have you seen an increase in foot problems that can be related to the number of people wearing high heels?
We do see a lot of foot problems, generally related to most types of shoes, but you tend to see more women than men, given that they wear more high heels and things and shoes that fit tightly around their feet. You do find people that wear high heels, their gravity is more on the ball of their foot, so using more force, and they're more likely to get some more problems.
What sort of problems do you treat that are related to high heels?
We get foot sprains, sometimes broken ankles through high heels because people trip over, they supinate, so they're more likely to roll over off their shoes. Use corns, blisters, hard skins, problems that can affect with high pressure areas on the balls of your feet.
Some people think the trend for wearing high heels is a reflection of the economic downturn. Do you think high heels are good or bad for your business?
Well, we find the trend is set by the Fashion Institute. You find that celebrities are leading the way for girls to wear high heels, because obviously their advisors advise them to wear high heels, so they look taller and slender and more tall, like the legs look thinner, and so girls see this as what they want to be. But obviously it's good for us because we do see more people with foot problems that need to be treated.
So despite the problems high heels can get you into, they're still a key fashion statement.
And they could be a step in the right direction for amateur economists out there who are looking for a signal that economic times are changing.
This is Henry.
Cameron. Bethan. Tatiana.
Shannon.
Emily.
Reporting for BBC News School Report. Still to come, were they angels
or devils
in the classroom?
Our teachers tell us what they were like when they were children. Stay tuned.
A new BBC survey of school children across Britain has found that half of them think the biggest danger to their lives is alcohol. According to the research, the only thing that worried children more was crime.
So why is alcohol such a big issue? And is underage drinking such a big problem as we think? We've been investigating.
Teenage drinking can be perceived to be a big problem in our society, and it is a problem that the police have a range of strategies to deal with.
PC Vicky Jones is a community police officer who works with the schools across Brighton and Hove. We asked her what she thinks of the issue and how police deal with the underage drinkers locally.
To what extent is teenage underage drinking a problem in our local area?
Well, I don't think that it's a problem, any more of a problem in this area than it would be in any other city.
Why is it important that police are vigilant about underage drinking? In your experience, what sort of other problems do they trigger?
Well, the main problems are that when people are drunk, they're not so aware of what they're doing, they're not so alert, so that makes them very vulnerable. Sometimes when people get drunk, they will act in silly or irresponsible ways, so that could cause problems if they break, damage or make lots of noise, and that's called antisocial behaviour. So that would really be the knock-on that we would have, is antisocial behaviour coming from young people drinking far too much. And then obviously you've got the harm that the alcohol will do to your body as well.
In particular, could you tell us about Operation Park? What is it and how it works?
Okay, Operation Park is a police operation which Sussex Police will run every single weekend. It targets areas that local youths will hang about in and possibly drink alcohol and then or cause antisocial behaviour. So we would patrol around these areas, locating maybe young people that are drinking in the public areas, remove their alcohol, okay, if it's sealed up we'll pour it away, identify if there's anyone who's very intoxicated, and we'll be taking those young people home and explaining to their grown-ups exactly why they've been taken home.
Do the police work with any other local agencies or organisations to assist them in their work in this particular area?
Yeah, we do. We work with lots of agencies. The Youth Offending Service will be one of them. We work with something called the Targeted Youth Support Service, and they will be a group of people who can work with young people who have been identified as maybe needing some more help around alcohol or antisocial behaviour and offending. And we also work with the local councils as well.
Young people don't always realise the dangers that alcohol can put them in. I went to meet a paramedic with the South East Coast Ambulance Service to find out about his experiences.
Could you describe a typical Friday or Saturday night's work for you?
Well, on a very busy shift on a Friday or Saturday night, you're looking in a 12-hour shift of somewhere in the region of, I would say, 9 to 10 jobs. And I have to say that a large proportion of those would be related to drink and drugs, really, and sort of the issues that go around with those, lots of drunk people.
In your experience, how many of the incidents you call to are related to underage drinking?
In my experience, to be honest, I mean, I've been doing this job for over 20 years now, and it's been something that has been quite prevalent throughout that time. It does seem to be picking up, though. We do seem to be going out to a lot more teenagers who are involved in that sort of thing, because I think a lot of the time alcohol is quite freely available.
How do you cope with intoxicated teenagers?
Well, like any job that we do, you have to take in the entirety. I mean, our main priority is to keep everybody safe at the job, including the crews and obviously the patient that we're going to. You often find that they tend not to get drunk on their own, so you often have groups of their friends who are quite anxious about them. So in that point of view, our main priority really is to make sure that they look after their airway and that we keep them safe. Never leave an intoxicated teenager at home or on scene, because serious damage can be done when you're that young and you're drinking those amounts of alcohol.
Why do you think it's important that teenagers learn to drink alcohol sensibly?
Well, when people are drinking alcohol, you have to realise that they are making a choice to drink the alcohol. As such, things can be taken in moderation. If you overdo it, you've made that choice to overdo it, and then you can become very ill. Ultimately, it's quite preventable. You don't have to do it. Bear in mind that if you are doing it, and somebody has to have an ambulance to them, that prevents an ambulance being sent to somebody who arguably needs more help than somebody who's done something to themselves. So one of the big things that we really promote is to think sensibly about what you're drinking, and remember that there are people who are worse off than you at that time.
Do teenagers vary their opinion of alcohol?
I think so. That's a really good question. Teenagers, well, if we're talking about 11-year-olds, and I was thinking about our school, the teenagers, the young people, they come to Carlton Newman and they've got a whole range of different opinions about alcohol. What we do is teach children the effects of alcohol and other substances, the effects of alcohol on the body and the consequences of people, so that then they know what the effects are of alcohol, and then they can decide and make good choices.